Welcome to Judge Me Not, a safe place to have real conversations with real ass people. Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome back to another episode of the Judge Me Not podcast. Y'all know what it is. I'm your pretty co host, EnviiDee. At least I think so. I mean, what's up? What's up? Same intro, different day. How is it? How's it going? I hope life's good. Y'all know my motto. If you have time to listen to a podcast, then life really can't be that bad. What's up? So, before the end of the month, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I've been recording. I'm a really last minute person. I feel like I do my best work when it's last minute. I'm working on that though. I've been recording really good stuff and even with other people, but it's like, nope, that's not it. So, I figure like, why not talk about mental health or the lack thereof mental health before May ends? I like to ponder on the difficult conversations that kind of make you have internal conversations with self, right? Like some things you just don't want to talk to everybody about. But you need to, get right. And I feel like mental health is one of those. Like, it's so taboo to voice when you just don't feel okay. And it might not even be something bad. Like, you might not be depressed. Maybe you're manic. Maybe you're anxious. You just don't feel your norm. And it's so taboo in certain households and communities um, to express your true feelings out of fear of being judged or the information being mishandled, that you kind of just ignore it. And everybody knows I go to therapy. I'm really big on mental health, especially for my people of color. It's such a topic that really plays a negative impact in so many different ways within our communities, within our households, within our relationships that stems from poor mental health on a generational level because we hide our emotions and unfortunately a majority didn't have a safe place to express these emotions or for them to be received and handled in the proper way. Um, yeah, which is sad because you don't know how to process your emotions. You don't know how to accept other people's emotions from years of like being an emotional bag man or lady. Like over time, it has no choice but to manifest into a bigger issue, whether it's physically health or it's mental health. It plays a toll spiritually as well, at least I believe. So many of us have or don't have the privilege to bask in our emotions. Like I stated, mental health or how you feel isn't just a welcome conversation in our community, and it just is what it is. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones that you did have that safe place to express yourself and be heard and validated, and your expression be greeted by the proper resources or reactions. Um, Kudos to you. I hope you're in life doing really good things. But for those who didn't, like myself, we just out here in the world fucked up. No, I'm be serious. I'm be serious. I'm serious. No, seriously. It You don't have the privilege to bask in your emotions. So a lot of us, unless you consciously choose to be attentive to self and learn self and break generational curses, you really don't know how you feel after a while of ignoring it, right? Because if you are depressed, for years at a time and you haven't really told anybody that you are depressed, and maybe the people that you did have that zone to have a open conversation and express yourself, maybe you're not even fucking with that person no more. So now you are back like bottled up and not expressing how you really feel, whether it's off, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. So years of doing that, it becomes a habit, and you unknowingly become unaware of how you feel in the moment, just not mindful at all. And it's super sad, but at least for myself, I had to really make myself be in the moment to process how I feel. And only until I did that did I was like, okay, well, bitch, yeah, you might be depressed. Looking at it like that, maybe you might be depressed. A lot of us don't have that luxury to bask in emotion. So you didn't have the opportunity to have a comfortable space to express how you feel. You've become so accustomed to not expressing how you feel, you don't even know anymore. You don't know. You're just kind of like on autopilot, just kind of going, I'm all right. You don't really talk that much to people. Stick to yourself. It is what it is. Taking life as it is, which is a good thing if you are aware. And then on top of that, you don't have the luxury to bask in your emotions. I be feeling like, bro, black people, especially black women, and I'm biased because I'm a black woman. We are functioning mentally unstable people. I don't want to say it like that. Let me reword that. You can be depressed and not be a stereotypical type of imagery of depressed. I feel like black people are the most successful, functioning, depressed people collectively that there is, unfortunately, due to a commonality of traumatic situations that in other cultures, these situations don't necessarily happen. Um, and it's traumatic. And it's normal though, because you probably know like 10, 12 other people that can relate to the same trauma, and maybe their parents and your parents too. So it's like, it's traumatic, but it's normal. So is it really traumatic, or is it just deal with it because we got shit to do? Because shit always has to get done. So you deal with it. And then there you are. You're not even paying attention to how you feel because you have to deal with life. Um, I would also always tell people like I gravitate probably to the on paper, the more menace to the society type, on paper, stereotypically type, judged individuals. Only because once you speak to certain type of people who've had to do certain things in life, you really kind of get a glimpse of what it is to just continue to move through life with a will not to give up by any means necessary, right? Like, and it'll put it into a perspective, especially for me, to be so grateful for my worries, that you have a conversation with someone and you hear what people experience, especially men of color. And it is the most traumatic situations repeatedly for long periods of times, but yet still trying to survive any way possible, learning, self taught, getting from any advice that you have that is actually looking at you and paying attention to you? Oh, yeah, of course. It makes sense. Perspective. But it also makes sense to where you become detached. You don't even know how you feel. You don't know if you're depressed. You don't know if you're manic. You don't know why you are the way you are, and it triggers irrational decisions. Everybody's decisions aren't in the same manner. I may be depressed and not go out and commit a crime, but be depressed and eat 3 gallons of ice cream. So I'm self harming and putting, you see what I'm saying? Relative perspective. So a repeat conversation that I have, people are like, bro, you're depressed. And a lot of us are depressed, but we're functioning depressed. And we're surrounded, we're like walking zombies. And no one wants to have that real conversation. Like, how are you? Like, what's up? How are you coping with that? So when I engage with people, it is like my point to ask the unasked questions and to give compliments when least expected. Because even if you are okay, I want to catch you off guard and let you know I'm actually listening. I commend you on whatever progress you are making. Every step is a great step if it's in the right direction. How are you though? Like for real. Who's attentive to you? Who's checking in on you? Be mindful of those people. How does change make you feel? Because there's a lot of people that are really out here in life that are fighting fucking hard to change for the better. And that's a hard task. So when you have that task to be the first to do things differently in a good way, and you don't have the space to not be okay, you just kind of function through life, autopilot. So well, first of all, I'd be joking and be like, oh yeah, I go to therapy. No, I really go to therapy. I got my own issues, baby. I'm depressed. Like, I'm an extreme person. I'm super sensitive energy wise and emotion wise. I pick up tons of emotions. I am very extreme. So when I love, man, I am like, I will give you love that Mother Earth herself couldn't even shower down upon you, especially if you haven't been exposed to that. Like, I just want to be that. But over time, I had to realize everybody, one, don't understand that type of intensity. And then at certain points, I have to understand boundaries and not on a self sacrificial manner. So when I am mad, though, I am mad on the extreme, intense. I will lose everything, flash out mad. But I've always been mindful of that. So I've made conscious choices to move differently so I won't ever even have to have those emotions exposed. I feel like if you are in an environment or around people that have a great ability to bring out the worst in you on a magnitude, then my baby, what are you doing? Move around. Move around. Why are you there? It's really a choice. You can really surround yourself and live a certain type of lifestyle that you don't have to even go there with people. It's called protecting your peace. So I'm extreme. So when I am sad, and this is the crazy part, I don't watch the news. I can watch the news and be sad for 30 fucking days because I don't understand why somebody would do that to their child. Why are we going to war? We are killing the trees. I am a intense person, but I got shit that needs to be done. Who has the luxury to say, "Oh, I'm concerned, I'm afraid, I'm anxious." A lot of us are walking around here with anxiety like a motherfucker, and it's naturally earned anxiety and nervousness because you're moving through life solo. And you know, if you make one fucking wrong move, you could instantly lose, especially when you come from out the mud making it happen. You already know what that feels like. You ain't trying to go back. So it's a sense of anxiety and you're hard on yourself, harder than anybody else. So really accomplishments ain't got nothing to do with the outside. It's an internal thing. Cause if people only knew like what you had to endure to persevere on a solo type shit. So you walking around and you're overcoming, but it's nervousness and it's a sense of anxiety because you got to make shit shake because ain't nobody gonna come and save you if you don't. But we're walking around, we're not talking about it, we're not feeling it, we're ignoring the signs. We could possibly substitute that sense of anxiety with a drug, a relationship, like some type of distraction from even addressing the fact that you're nervous as fuck. You are anxious as fuck. I meet so many men that bite their nails to the bone. And my first question is, what brings you peace? And why are you so busy in your own mind? Those two questions alone, ask the black man that bites his nails that. It could be a complete stranger. Look at, be attentive to the males in your life. Be attentive. Because again, most of us are not groomed in environments to be able to openly express if we don't feel okay. Ask if you see someone in your circle and they are biting, it could be a woman, the fuck out of their nails. What's up? What's going on in your mind? Why are you battling yourself? Anxious people have the most busiest self conversations. They're planning, they're thinking of what happens this way, they're thinking of anxious. What brings you peace? Let's talk about that. And if you don't have that, like, hey, what's up? And it's a gateway of recognition. One that somebody has kind of seen a glimpse of what I'm battling with. Anxious as fuck. And then to counter out anxiety or knowing that you are on a manic high, a lot of people suffer from mania and they make horrible mistakes during this sense of mania. And when they come down, it's kind of like, what the fuck, bruh? I know better type shit. But you done already did it, so you got to commit to it. And some of these choices are huge, life altering choices. But a lot of us go into mania to self preserve this sense of false highness to avoid the reality of what we're not trying to deal with. Nobody wants to be depressed. Nobody wants to talk about the hard shit. Nobody wants to really forgive. No, I mean, like, nobody really wants to do the work. Why should I have to do the work? Like, why? Why? It's a lot. But it's easier, less stressful to do the work versus self harm. And having a sense of mania is like, okay, if you know something ain't going right, or you just don't feel yourself, but you go and overspend, or you flying, or doing like something irrational, having unprotected sex with people you don't know, overindulging in alcohol, overexpending, like just on an extreme high than your normal behavior, my boy, you manic. And you are trying to avoid addressing something, and you are emotionally fighting yourself internally. So, to avoid processing the ugly parts of emotion, you're manic. So, when you come down and you like, bro, I know better. Like, why? I know better than to be in this situation. But your manic behavior got you in that situation. Now you're twice as hard on yourself. Like, the worst critic is thyself on every level. Because I know I'm extreme. And I'd be like, bro, you knew what was going to happen. So you're hard on yourself and you're just thinking about everything that could negatively make it even easier to be hard on yourself. And then you look up and you're no longer doing the things that you were doing because you're coming down from a manic. You're kind of isolated from people because you're coming down and you're kind of having a personal reality check, but you don't know what's going on because you're not used to processing your emotions and you don't know how to explain why you're to yourself. And you just have a flip of intensity from a high to a decreased level. Maybe your appetite increases or decreases on a broad scale, though. Your sleep habits change. Either you're oversleeping or you're insomniac, just up looking crazy with nothing to do and no reason why you're up. Your emotions are just up and down. You don't know why you sad, if you sad, if you really yourself or if you manic, like you just are a ball of uncertainty. Yeah, functioning. Our people have mastered functioning through trauma. I mean, think about it. Black people have always been able to find the good in the bad at any time. Our culture thrives on hardship. Everything that is a representation of black culture in America thrives from hardship. And then that's just passed down and it becomes the norm. And then you just got shit to do. So you don't have time to process emotions. And okay, maybe you don't feel like yourself. So, but what's next? Who cares? Still gotta go to work. Still gotta pay child support. Still gotta take care of these kids. Still gotta deal with this person. Still gotta pay the bills. Still gotta make shit shake. Then what? Then if you can relate to anything that I said, then that means then something isn't fucking right and you know it. And you need to get someone around you, a friend, a family member, or you have to have some type of healthy relationship that you can be transparent and safe and voice if you're not feeling okay or if you're just feeling off. And if you don't have that, then pay someone to be that. Therapy, counseling, but go into it with an open mind. Don't put nobody in your business. The goal is to figure out self. Because at the end of the day, you gotta live your life. You gotta deal with your fuck ups. You. Other people can have an opinion, a voice, or whatever. Ultimately, it affects you first. So fix you, work on you, but just don't battle in silent anymore. Yeah. So, signs of the depression, as I stated, fluctuation of behaviors, lack of interest, disinterest, of course, feeling sad, crying, um, oversleeping or undersleeping, overeating or undereating, feeling hopeless, um, feeling uncertain, like about everything. Like if you feel like you're questioning everything, and the fact that you're questioning everything is making it even worse. Yeah. Yep. My boy, you might be a functioning depressed person like your girl. But I could be vocal about mine. And I have a great support system. If I dip off, oh, they're going to come find me. I mean, if it get too, they're going to come knock on my door. What's up? Are you good? Are you here? Are you with us? Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. So you have to build that safety net. You have to. We have to make these conversations more relatable because Our mental health controls everything: our physical health, our ability to succeed, our ability to make relationships impact any type of growth and success. Poor mental health is a big deal, and we have to make it equally as a big deal as our physical health and as our financial health and our spiritual health. We have to make these conversations more relevant than just, oh, hey, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and let me make a little quick podcast about it and go on about my life. So let's have a conversation. Do these symptoms relate? Maybe you're suffering from PTSD, which is triggering your anxiety, which is triggering your depression or your manic episodes. Um, yeah. My DM is always open, guys. Yeah. Instagram, still EnviiDee. Facebook, EnviiDee. Snapchat, EnviiDee. TikTok, EnviiDee. Like, I'm pretty consistent. My DM is always open. Even if you don't even want to reply and you just need to vent, you have to have that from someone. But that's my time. Bye, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in again to another episode of the Judge Me Not podcast. If you want to keep up with your girl, you can always find me on Facebook and Instagram at EnviiDee. That's EnviiDee. Bye.